Hi friends, a very good evening and thank you for joining in today. Could you please first confirm in the chat window if you're able to see me, not my screen today, and if you can hear my voice clearly. Then we'll get started with the answering questions from the chat window. Again, our team has already been answering most of the questions in the last half an hour or so. So if everybody can see me and hear my voice clearly, we can get started with the session itself. Cool. It seems like there is no technical glitch, which is good. Yeah. Thanks everyone and the mentors who have also joined this session. Thank you very much. So I have the chat window open right in front of me and I'll try to answer as many questions as possible, right? Again, folks, please understand that in a 1 hour session, it's in a public session like this, it's almost impossible to answer all the questions that you may have. So we will try our best. Our team will also try to answer in the chat window. I will try to answer as many questions as best as we can. But anything that we cannot answer, go to gate.appliedcourse.com, try to email us. We'll try to resolve as many questions. Of course, we give first priority to our course enrolled students, then to our test series enrolled students, then to everyone else. We do that prioritization when we give replies. Okay, cool. So let's get started. Okay, so one of the questions that I have been seeing is how to prepare for the next 6 months. Again, so let's answer that question because I promised students that I'll answer that in the session. First and foremost, remember that different people will be at different stages of their learning. So imagine you're somebody who has finished a few subjects, some more subjects left. Now, how should you use the next 5 or so months? First thing, try to finish as many subjects as you can. Okay. Again, if you are in a doubt on what order you should follow, let me just show you the order quickly. We have this video which we did. I think you all can see the screen now, right? So there is this video called Learning Strategies to Score 50 Plus Marks in GATE CS. Okay, this is a video that we did. I hope everybody can see the screen, right? This is a video on our channel where we discuss about different subjects and what is the best ordering. Again, this ordering has been thought through based on how easy is it to score marks, what is the weightage of each of these subjects, and what are the relationship between various subjects. So if you are in doubt on how to prioritize subjects, this is one suggested order. The reason being, the more scoring subjects are at the top, subjects from which you can expect easier questions are at the top, right? So you can just check out this video. This is a very popular video that a lot of students check out. So please feel free to check out that video. That will help you understand how to prioritize the subjects themselves, number one. Number two, try to complete as many subjects as possible. Okay, first and foremost. Then, while you're doing the theory part, there is also another video called How to Prepare Short Notes and Revise. Okay, please also look at that video on our channel. It's a live session that we did, I think just a month or two back. Okay, so a lot of this content is publicly available for everyone. But most importantly, try to finish the subjects. While you're finishing the subject, please complete the practice problems that you have. Whichever course you're enrolled in, you could be enrolled in Applied Gate course or you could be enrolled in someone else's course, that doesn't matter. Don't just do the theory, please solve practice problems. In the first iteration, just do that, that's good enough. Okay, so once you finish all the subjects and the practice problems, in the second iteration, go through your long notes, go through your short notes. Wherever you're making mistakes when you're solving problems, please write it in your notes, in your short notes. We discuss about how to prepare short notes also. Okay, there's a whole detailed 1 hour session on that. Please check out that video where we discuss about how to prepare short notes and how to revise. So the simple recommendation for the next 5 months is this. Complete all the subjects, prioritized based on more scoring subjects based on our video, number one. Number two, try to solve the test series questions. First, do all the practice questions which are there as part of the course videos. Then solve all the test series questions, previous year questions. This in itself is close to 5,000 questions if you're a course enrolled student or even a test series enrolled student, right? That's close to 5,000 questions. That is more than sufficient. If you have understood the concepts, if you have put in the effort to understand the concepts, solving 5,000 questions is more than sufficient to crack GATE, to be honest with you. Okay, so your next 5 months should be these cycles. Revise a subject, solve test series questions of that subject, topic tests, subject tests, previous year questions. Do one more revision. So try to do from now on, once you complete all the subjects, you might have already completed some of these subjects or you might complete them in the next 1 or 2 months or even the next 3 months, that's okay. try to revise 3 times using your detailed and short notes. Okay, try to revise 3 times. Again, what happens is, once you complete all the concepts, the first revision might take 1 month or 1.5 months. The second revision will be much faster, right? Because you're trying to recap things. So multiple revisions are important for GATE preparation because the syllabus is vast. So the 2 things that you should focus on. First, complete. Again, even if you're starting today, you can still comfortably crack GATE. We have had students who started their preparation in early September of last year and who have gotten a rank under 300, right? It's very possible. Just make sure that you're putting in roughly 6 hours a day of effort, probably 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the night. Complete the subjects, practice tests, be done with all this, then 1 revision. Again, remember that some topics will be hard. Okay, not all topics are simple in GATE. Some topics will be hard, some topics will be easy. Don't get stuck at any one concept. One of the most common mistakes that we see people do is they get stuck, they get demotivated and they give up on GATE. Don't do that. If a topic feels too hard, leave it there, come back to the topic a couple of days later. Okay, so that's the strategy. Don't get bogged down or don't slow yourself down. That's very common. If you're doing too many silly mistakes, take a day off, make a list of all the silly mistakes that you're doing. Try to avoid those mistakes next time you solve it. Okay, these are very simple strategies, very common sense strategies, right? So the operating systems and compiler design, the new syllabus, the small changes in the syllabus, we're already doing the videos. We'll put it by the end of the month, this month. So by 31st end of day, you will have both compiler design, new topics and operating systems. We'll add it at the end of the course, so that people who have already covered these topics can just go through those videos. Okay, that's one. Aptitude also will start adding. The only problem with aptitude now is we don't have any sample questions from the past years. So we don't know how deep to go. Okay, so we are trying to balance. We don't want to create 100 hours of aptitude content. That's not helpful because nobody will be able to do it. So we want to be able to do sufficient amount. Again, we are basing ourselves on other exams that IITs or IISc conducts. We're trying to gather data from there so as to set the level of questions, right? So we will also be completing general aptitude as soon as we can, but first we are prioritizing operating systems and compiler design. Okay, cool. Okay. First and so as far as the test series itself, anyway, some of the questions are also being answered by the rest of the team. Very, very importantly, please remember that you're not competing with the paper, you're competing with others. Okay, this is a very, very common mistake that people do. They do one small mistake and they panic. Don't compete against the paper, because if the paper is really, really hard, it is hard for everyone. It's not hard just for you, right? So don't try to compete with the paper. Don't try to compete with the paper. Try to compete with other people. Okay, we are trying to add MSQs into our test series, but again, we took almost 6 months to design the test series very, very carefully. Okay, it's not a switch that, okay, today there is some announcement, we can add it. It's not that simple, realistically speaking, right? So we will try to add as many MSQs as possible, and we are already doing that. But please understand that it's not a trivial switch that you can turn on, turn off. Okay, cool. Again, we'll try to avoid questions outside of the GATE purview, okay? Because there are so many questions about GATE. So we would like to focus on the GATE itself and not on placements or not on software engineering or how life is at IISc. Sorry, we don't want to do that now. Because most students, we want to help them in their preparation journey for the next 6 months. Okay, cool. So good. Brijesh has a good question. He says, should I rewatch all the videos when I'm revising? No, don't do that. Again, we discuss about this in how to make short notes and revise. If you have made short notes, revise first from the short notes. Anything that you're not sure, go to the detailed notes. If you have not made short notes, revise it from the detailed notes. Again, also make note of silly mistakes that you're doing or mistakes in problem solving that you're doing. Always try to revise from your notes because that will be much, much faster. If there is anything that you don't understand from the notes, then go back to the videos. Okay, don't keep watching the videos in every revision because that will take more time. Always revise from your short notes. If you don't have short notes, revise from your detailed notes that we publicly make it available. Anywhere you don't understand, anywhere you get stuck, only there go to the videos. Please don't spend like hours and hours just rewatching the videos as part of your revision. Please don't do that. Okay. 1 second. Okay. So Advice for non-CS students preparing for GATE. That's a good question, Pawan. So again, since you're again, frankly speaking, there isn't much of a difference between a CS and a non-CS student, except that a CS student has been hearing these terms for the last 4 years. A non-CS student hasn't heard some of the terms. Okay, except that there is not much of a difference. If you have a CS student who just slept through the 3 years or 4 years of their BTech, they're equal to you. What difference does it make? They might know how to write some C code or Java code, but apart from that, for GATE preparation, everybody is the same. So for non-CS people, your most scoring topics are the math topics. So crack aptitude hands down, do engineering maths hands down, because you already know these topics better than others. And don't get bogged down. Except for knowing the terminology, there is very little difference between a CS and a non-CS student. To be very honest with you, because most people sleep through their 4 years of BTech. I'm being very honest here. Most students, they just sleep through, they just write their semester end exams, they just read for a day or two before the exam and they forget later. So there is not much of a difference between you and them, except for they've heard this term called LAN. You may not have heard of that term. They might have heard of this term called dynamic programming. You have not heard. But except for the terminology part, there isn't significant difference between a CS and a non-CS student. All that I'm telling now holds true even for a non-CS student. Okay, cool. Okay, what should the daily schedule? Good question, Afra. So my suggestion, again, depends on where you are in your preparation. But since we are 5 months away, my recommendation is this. Try to spend 2 to 3 hours in the morning. First of all, please stop all social media. Get out of your TV, get out of your Facebook. Probably you should sign out of your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of that stuff. Just get rid of it. Probably you should just get rid of your WhatsApp also, unless you have to talk to your family on it. First, get rid of all these useless distractions. That's one thing that I strongly recommend. Number 2, be disciplined with your time. Schedule a time. You can say, okay, morning 6 to 8:30, I'll just work on GATE. No distractions whatsoever. I will not even lift my phone unless it's an emergency call. Okay, I will not check my phone. I'll not check my messages, none of that stuff. So try to allocate 2 to 2.5 hours in the morning, 2 to 2.5 hours in the night. Okay, if you can allocate 3 hours, that's better. But at least try to do 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the night. Through the day, see, suppose you learned a concept. This is what I would recommend personally. Suppose you watched some videos or solved some practice problems in the morning, right? You have the notes. Through the day, whenever you get those 10-15 minute breaks, either at work or at college, right, between classes or whatever it is, try to revise those concepts through the day. End of day, practice problems. Okay, again, different people have different priorities. The reason I'm saying don't sit for 5 hours continuously is because it's hard to sit for 4 hours, 5 hours in a single stretch. So break it into 2 parts. Again, follow the same rule book. Try to complete all the subjects, all the practice problems first. Then start revising. When you're revising each subject, start taking the test series problems. Start writing your short notes. Keep revising your mistakes also along with the concepts. Again, we have a fully dedicated video that you can see on YouTube, which is how to prepare short notes and revise, where we talk about multiple revisions before you go for the GATE exam. Try to do at least 3 revisions. Again, please remember that the first time learning might take a few months. The first revision itself will take 1 month to 45 days. Again, different people have different learning rates. Okay, the first revision might take 1 month to 45 days. The second revision will be much faster. Okay, so by 3 revisions, I don't mean spend 3 months in each revision. The third revision, you can just finish it in like 10 days. You can do two subjects roughly in a day, and you can finish the third revision in about 8 to 10 days, right? So that's very, very important. Okay. So somebody says PYQs. One second, where is this? Again, please don't put too many emojis just to get attraction. I will avoid those messages. Let's have a good conversation, right? So PYQs and 20 mock tests. Again, I don't know why people are so fixated on getting a rank under 100. While it's a good thing to aspire to, don't get fixated on that. You will get a 100 rank not because you solved some 10,000 questions. If you solved 10,000 questions but did not understand the concepts, or if you're not able to solve them well, you're just remembering question A hai, answer A hai, this is how I have to get the answer. Then you solve 1 lakh questions also, no, you won't get GATE. GATE is all about having a good conceptual understanding and translating that to problems. Again, we have been doing these interactive problem solving sessions, right? One thing that I observed, right? Again, it's something that all of our mentors have discussed extensively is most people don't draw diagrams. They try to apply some formula that they remember into the equation. Don't do that. Because that is what will make mistakes. That's what, because you're always looking for the formula to solve the problem. Gate is not about formulae. Okay, gate is about conceptual understanding and draw diagrams. Try to see which concept that you have learned is related to the question that's being asked. Okay, that's the way you improve your problem solving skills. Always, given any question, first list down all the facts that are given to you. Try to draw a diagram. Try to think in terms of basic things, okay, that you have learned in the course videos, whether it's, again, imagine you have a combinatorics problem, okay, or a counting based problem, right, in combinatorics or in combinations and permutations. A lot of people are looking for the formula. Don't apply the formula. If you know how again, that's why even in the course videos, we try to arrive at the problems. We try to solve the problems without using too many formulae. Number one, we always try to explain how the formula was arrived at. Like, I don't remember 90% of the formulae in most of the concepts in computer science. But given a problem, I can take a shot at it because I know how the formula is derived. I have a conceptual clarity. Okay, and try to draw diagrams. Again, this has happened in COA, this has happened in DLD live sessions that we've done recently. People don't draw diagrams, try to apply a formula, they'll mess it up. Okay, that's very, very important aspect. So if you solve the 5,000 problems that you have in PYQs, practice tests, test series, all of it that we have in our course videos, and if you do them genuinely, try to solve the problem genuinely, don't look at the answer, try to struggle with it for a few minutes. If you do it, it is more than sufficient to crack GATE. Okay. GATE, again, remember, GATE exam questions are not hard. They only are, I mean, as somebody put it in one of our live sessions, they said, most of these questions look like aptitude questions. Yes, GATE is mostly basic aptitude question on top of computer science foundations. That's what 95% of GATE questions are. There are 5% hard questions, but most people can't solve them. So don't worry too much and get fixated on one question which is very hard. Try to solve the 90-95% easy and medium questions. You will sail into most of the top institutes. Okay. Cool. Let me, okay. 1 second. 1 second. Okay. There is a flood. I'm not able to keep track of questions. 1 second. Okay, somebody says, okay, my deadline is to complete all the subjects in November and practice. Perfectly all right. Again, as a simple rule of thumb, try to finish everything, even if you're starting now, right? Try to finish everything by mid to late November. That's when you should pack up. Okay. Again, if you have not completed all the subjects, it's okay. Try and prioritize subjects which are more scoring. December and January, 2 months, just put full energy on revision, full energy on practicing. I think somewhere between mid to late November, you should stop saying, okay, whatever I've done. I want to revise these concepts. Again, if time permits, learn the new subjects. Nothing wrong with it. But if time doesn't permit, at least revise all the subjects that you have learned so that you can score those marks there. Okay, that's why we have that video which says, what is the order in which you should prepare subjects, right? Cool. Preferably, how many subjects should we have completed by now? There is no simple rule of thumb. As I told you, right? We have had students who started their preparation in the first week of September last year, who got under 300 rank. So there is no, I mean, different people learn at different speeds. Okay. So there is no simple rule of thumb. Even if you're starting, if you've finished a few subjects, suppose you have finished, let's say 5-6 subjects, that's very good. You're on a good track. Don't panic now. Don't give up. This is the time when you have to double down your preparation. Lot of students, we see this. Lot of students in the last 5 to 6 months, they start panicking. Fear kicks in and they say, hey, ye nahi ho raha yaar mujhse. This is not, I'm not able to bear with this. Don't give up. This is the time where you need to double down. That's why I'm saying 2.5, if possible 3 hours in the morning, 2 to 3 hours in the evening. This is when you double down your efforts. Don't get stuck anywhere. You're not doing a PhD here. Okay, very common mistake. Somebody was asking about it. You're not doing a PhD here. Your job is learn the concepts as best as you can, solve as many problems as you can. If you get stuck, take a day or take 2 days, revise that, come back to the topic. Okay. Cool. Again, I think somebody is spamming. So if you spam, we'll have to block you. Please. Okay. I'm not getting more than 60% in practice tests. That's okay, Vedant. Actually, look at it this way, right? 60% basically means, look at it, GATE, right? Last year toppers were in 80, around 80-ish, right? You're getting 60 right now. 60 is a pretty good mark, right? Your goal now, again, if you're getting 60 marks now, that's actually pretty good in the practice tests, because now you have 5 months to prepare, revise, and push that 60 to 80, or in the late 70s, early 80s. Right? That's actually pretty good, Vedant, actually, to be honest with you. If you are getting 60 marks, if you're getting even 50 marks in practice tests now, that's perfectly okay. It happens to everyone. Because this is the first time you're solving these problems, right? We are not born geniuses, right? So first time when you learn a new concept and you have to solve problems, we all commit mistakes. I would commit mistakes if I'm learning a new subject. Everybody does, right? So this is your first shot. In your first shot of practice, if you're getting 50-60 marks, your goal now is, how do I avoid mistakes that I committed now? That's why we tell, please make a note of it in your notes. Very, very important, number one. Number two, keep trying to push that number to around 80-ish. Okay, that's a very good number for you. Okay. Himanshu asked this question, should I leave my job because I'm not able to focus 100% on GATE? Please don't quit your job. I can't emphasize this enough. Lot of people we know have made that mistake, because I'll tell you what will happen. Let's be realistic here. Okay. GATE is competitive. Okay. Even look at it this way, right? If you quit your job, okay, there is a lot of pressure on you to do very well in GATE. That pressure does two things. Okay. It will push you into making more silly mistakes, because you're never at peace with your mind. There is always that peer pressure, parental pressure, your own self-inflicted pressure that you quit your job to prepare for this. So we don't recommend you quit your job, number one, because that only adds to more pressure on you, number one. Number two, even in a job, I'm sure you can put 2.5 hours in the morning and 2.5 hours in the evening. If you're not able to put at least 4 hours through the day, even as a working professional, then you're not serious about GATE. I mean, let's not fool ourselves with that fact. Okay, you're not serious. If you're not able to put in 4 hours now while working, what is the guarantee that you'll be able to put in 8 hours that you say you will put in later? Okay, so I would say, if you're a working professional or even a very active college student, if you put in 2 to 3 hours in the morning, 2 to 3 hours in the evening, and if you're dedicated about it, you have to give your full 100% of your time there. You can crack GATE. Please don't quit your job, because what happens? Okay, because let's also think the other side, right? You should always think of both the sides. You have to be a calculated risk taker, right? Imagine you don't get a good GATE rank. You get some GATE rank, but not the GATE rank that you would want. Then again, you have to search for a job, right? Now, given the current situation, we don't know how the job market will be next year. We don't know. And I don't know what your skills are. I don't know how many positions will be open next year. That pressure will again kick in, right? So why go through all that hell? Instead of going through that pressure cooker situation, it's better to spend 2 to 3 hours in the morning, 2 to 3 hours in the night, and give your best. Okay, give your best for 2021. Worst case kya hoga? You will get a rank that you're not fully happy with, that may not get you into the top institutes. That's okay. You have prepare for one more year. 2022, get a single digit rank or a double digit rank. Right? Please don't quit your job. Okay, cool. So if any student has completed all the subjects except networks, what's the strategy? Vidyasagar, that's what I was telling, right? First complete networks. Then start revising all the subjects in the order we mentioned. Start solving test series questions. Start revising the mistakes that you have done from the practice tests and PYQs. Keep revising. If you can do more than 3 revisions, why not? Somebody who has just got only one subject left, you're in a very good position. You should now spend time on improving the accuracy of your problem solving skills. Again, remember that GATE is not just about completing syllabus. It's also about getting the answers right in the exam. It's about problem solving built on foundational skills, right? So please think about it. Cool. So Jitendra, I think I answered your question via the chat window at the beginning. So you have enrolled for 2022 course, but why not give your best for 2021 also? What's there to lose? Give your best for 2021. Go full throttle, give your full effort for 2021. If you get a good rank, great. You don't have to wait for 2022. If you don't get it, all this learning will be useful for your 2022 preparation. Right? So that's important. How to tackle frustration while studying? Very good question, Rohan. I'm very happy you asked it. It's a very good question. It is only human. It happens to everyone. Okay, that you're trying to learn a concept, you get bogged down, you're trying to solve a problem, you get frustrated that you're not able to solve. That happens to everyone. You're not special. Unless you are a genius, which is like very, very rare case, most of us go through that. Okay, please remember that it's a very common thing that happens to everyone. Number one, you're not special. It's very common. Number one. So my suggestion to everyone is this. Try to, again, this is something that many of our mentors do. I personally do it. I try to chunk my time into 1.5 hour intervals, 90 minutes. Okay, in 90 minutes, this is what I do. I write myself in the first 2 minutes, I'll say, what is it that I'm going to complete in the 90 minutes with full energy. Okay, no distraction. My phone is closed. All the other gadgets are closed. I tell my family not to disturb me when I'm working. 90 minutes, I try to give my full time, full energy into that 90 minutes. Okay. Then after that, sometimes you'll be frustrated at the end of the 90 minutes because some work didn't get done. You got stuck somewhere. It's okay. Take a 10 minutes break, get a coffee or tea if you're a coffee or tea person, or just step out, take 10-15 deep breaths. Just stretch yourself. Just keep yourself calm. Take 10-15 deep breaths. Go outside. Breathe some fresh air. Right? Then you will cool down. Your head will cool down. For some people, it's like I bring a cup of tea. Right? I step out. I sit in my balcony, sip a cup of tea, refresh my mind, take 10-15 deep breaths, and I'm back to normal. Then I again try to sit for 1.5 hours. After, see again, 1.5 hours, 10-15 minutes, 1.5 hours. 3 hours, I'm done. Okay, then I take a longer break. Okay, that's why I'm saying 2 to 3 hours in the morning, 2 to 3 hours in the night. Because you can't repeat this many times. Frustration, whenever you're frustrated on yourself or on the syllabus or on 100 things that could go wrong, close everything, take 15 deep breaths and tell yourself, this is common. This happens to everyone. Every topper in the last 20-30 years of GATE went through the same thing. This is just human. Okay, and start. Get a break, probably talk to your family, get 10-15 minutes break, and then get back to work. That's that's something that works very well for me personally. It is something that many of our teammates also do. Okay. Cool. How to revise the completed subjects along with new subject preparation. My suggestion is this. First, finish the subjects which you have not completed, then go for revision. Okay, that's what I would recommend personally. The reason being, finishing all the subjects will give you a sense of accomplishment that yes, I'm prepared for all of them. I just have to revise and improve my problem solving skills. Okay, that's all you have to tell yourself. Okay, so if you have some subjects that are still remaining, first finish that, please. Okay, then go into it. Then go into the revision mode. Again, we have a video that I was talking to you about, right? How to make short notes and revise. Please follow that. Okay, so where is it? Okay. I'm not able to focus on subjects. My pace of learning is very low. Please suggest something. Okay, this is from Nitish. Again, everybody has a different pace of learning. Suppose if you give me some quantum mechanics or something, right? So I'm learning some quantum deep learning concepts recently. I know nothing in physics. So it takes me more time to absorb and understand those concepts. If you give me something in computer science, I can learn it much, much faster. So everybody has different rates of learning. If you think you are slow, you have to put in more time because we have a hard deadline for the exam. There are only two options for you. One, put in your full energy, try to spend more time on this. Number one. And what happens is if you spend time regularly, your speed of absorbing the concepts will increase. Just try it for 30 days. You'll see a lot of changes actually. Number one. Or if you think even after that you're too slow, then probably you should prepare for GATE 2022. I'm just giving you a realistic advice. Okay. How to overcome fear of competition. Okay. That's also human nature, right? Why worry about competition? You should tell yourself, again, competition is important because ranks are based on competition. But you're too early for that now. Right now, what you should focus on is, suppose if you're getting 50 marks in practice tests, ask yourself, how do I go to 80 to 90? 90 is a little hard. How can I go to 80? Compete against your own marks first. Stop. Again, remember, if the paper is hard, even people who most likely will get in the top 100 ranks in GATE this year are very much in your shoes today. Don't forget that simple fact. They're also fearful of competition. Okay. So what you can do here is stop worrying about it because it's not in your hand. Always only work on things that are in your control, not things that are outside your control, because you can't do anything about it. Okay. Most importantly, try to improve your scores because that's in your hand. Don't worry about competition. That comes much later. Okay. Okay. One second. From 2 weeks, I can't constrain for GATE. I didn't understand this question, Mohit. Sorry. I was trying to read it. Mayank says graph theory is humongous. GATE syllabus itself is humongous, man. Come on. The challenge with GATE is not that the problems are hard. Look at other exams, right? Take IIT JEE. The problems are hard. Take CAT exam. The problems are hard. The syllabus is small. So most competitive exams in the world fall in two categories. The syllabus is vast and the problems are medium, or the syllabus is small, the problems are hard. Take any examination in the world. I think there is only one exception to this, which is civil services exam, where the syllabus is vast and the problems are also hard. I think that's one of the rare exams in the world where that fall in the third category. So GATE is most problems are easy or medium, but the syllabus is vast. That's why I'm saying so many times that revision is important, because the syllabus is so vast. Not just graph theory, right? I mean, imagine all the 15 subjects you have, it's certainly a non-trivial syllabus. Like for example, when I personally prepare to solve some of these interactive live sessions, right? I revise all the detailed notes that we have, because otherwise I'll not be able to answer the questions. Our team of mentors, they revise these questions they revise from the notes on regular basis. I mean, these are people who are spending their full energy, full time on GATE. But still, even we have to revise. Our whole team has to revise like on regular basis to be able to solve problems in a live session like what we did. Many people can't do that, to be honest with you. It's not trivial. Putting yourself, whether it's me or any of my team mentors, right? When they call you, you could ask any question and they're trying to answer that, which means they have to be on the top of the questions, on the top of all of the concepts, which is not easy, right? You shoot an email and they have to answer that. So even we revise on regular basis. So most important thing for GATE, the vastness of syllabus, the only solution is revision. There is no shortcut to that. Unless you are that ekasantagrahi, which basically is you'll read once, you'll not forget it. Like a perfect memory. I mean, that's an outlier. That doesn't happen every day. Okay. Cool. Okay. So Sugan has a good question. How to improve an aptitude session? 1 second. Okay. Okay. How to improve an aptitude session? Does solving more problems helps? I don't find it interesting to watch videos. Sugan, it's a good point that you raised. The aptitude of GATE is very much like your high school syllabus. Okay, these are problems in your high school mathematics, right? Your 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th class math. Again, we do see this a lot of times. Some people say, hey, these are too simple, I don't want to watch the videos. We say, skip it if you don't want to watch, but solve all the practice problems. Aptitude is extremely scoring, guys. Just the math part, non-verbal part in aptitude is about, I think, 8 to 9 marks. It's very, very easy to score that. I mean, that's like free 8 to 9 marks given to you. It's high school math syllabus, right? It's mostly math that you learn from your 6th to 10th class, right? So if you don't want to go through those videos, that's your choice. But solve the problems. Wherever you're not able to solve, go watch the videos. That's a perfectly valid strategy. Okay. Cool. What is the question on syllabus? Again, please understand that we will not be able to answer all the questions. There is like literally a flood. For me, even to just scan the questions and pick one question takes so much energy, right? So it's almost impossible to answer all the questions. Anything that we cannot answer, please email us. Just go to gate.appliedcourse.com. We'll try to answer as many questions as we can. Cool. Where are we? Apart from PYQ and test series questions, are standard questions also compulsory? This is from Pratik. Again, my suggestion is this. if you have solved 5,000 questions from PYQs, practice tests, test series, all of that, you're in a pretty good state. If time permits, just go start solving problems from standard books. I mean, if you have time, why not do it? But what we have done is a lot of our practice problems, a lot of our test series problems, lot of the questions, even in GATE PYQs, you'll see them as questions from assignments of textbooks. So a good chunk of them you would have covered in the 5,000 plus practice problems that we have. I think we have close to 5,800 problems in total. I think we did a live session on that also, right? So we have close to about 5,500, 5,800 problems. If you can solve them, I think you're pretty set for it. But if you have time, yes, feel free, pick up any standard textbook. Any standard textbook, start solving exercise problems. If you have time, do it. Why not? Okay. So Sugandh has a question. Will system calls like fork be explained in detail in the course? They're already explained, man. So we have explained about fork in lots of detail because our philosophy has always been that we should explain concepts from a practical standpoint. So we have explained fork in lots of detail on what ID is given to the parent, what ID is given to the child process. We even have practice questions on that, right? So we have already covered a lot of the new syllabus to some extent. There are a couple of concepts that we want to cover in more detail. Like even whether you see the new compiler design syllabus or the new OS syllabus, a lot of it is already covered. We have done a video on that. You can check it on our YouTube videos. The video title is A Detailed Analysis of Changes in GATE 2021. Right? We have already added many of those. We have practice questions on how fork behaves exactly in a Unix system. But we thought we'll add more videos so that nothing is left to chance. Okay, cool. Somebody says, how many questions are there in the test series? Khushi, we have a video on that. Okay, I don't remember the number at the top of my head. I don't want to give you a slightly erroneous number. Just, okay, let's actually go there, right? So we have, I think if you just go to applied course test series. Okay, so test series 2021, right? So yeah, just the test series 2021 has 2,225 questions. Just this one test series. And course enrolled students get both the 2021 test series, 2020 test series, practice tests and all of that. Just the 2021 test series has 2,225 questions. This is for test series enrolled students. For course enrolled students, they have almost more than 2.5 times these many questions, right? So just to get answer that specific question. Is there a forum to discuss? Yes, I think many of you may not have seen it, or some of you may not have seen it. Not many, but some of you. So you can just go to forum, right? So just type in gate.appliedcourse.com/forum, right? So this is the forum that we have, right? Very simple. It's gate.appliedcourse.com/forum, right? So if you just go there, it's a forum where students can publicly discuss their questions and we encourage students to use it. But if there is something that you want us to answer, again, our team doesn't look at the forum. It's an open forum for everyone. So we don't look at it ourselves. If you have any question, do email us so that we can answer it. It can be answered much more rigorously by our mentors. Okay. One second. Oh yeah, somebody says, yeah, the 50 marks is primarily around 50 marks. Again, depends on the year. Some years the questions are easy, some years are hard. About the 50-60 marks, you will get under 1,000 rank, roughly speaking, right? So you should try, and again, we don't know what the question paper is this year going to be, right? You can never guess that. Last year, the top rank was in the 80s, right? And I think anybody who got 70, in the mid 70s, got a pretty good rank that they went into IITs, right? So it depends from year to year. 50 is something that you should be easily able to get. The reason we made that earlier video is because it's so easy to get 50 marks in GATE, right? Even with 1 month or 1.5 month preparation, you can get 50 marks. Okay. Okay. Vivek has a question. This question is that he's struggling with computer organization, especially with the terms. Again, for some of you, even for non-CS students, terminology could be a problem, right? So if terminology is a problem, this is what I would suggest. In your short notes or detailed notes, just list down only the terms. Once you finish, let's say you finished some content for 5 or 6 days. One day, just go through the terms only. Because this is new terminology, right? You have to get used to the new terminology. So my recommendation in such situation is very simple. If the terminology feels too intimidating or it's too daunting on you, just in your revision, just make a list of all the terms. Try to draw the diagram for each of the term. Like how does a multiplexer work? Or how does so-and-so addressing work? Okay, just try for everything. If you see some of our free videos or the course videos for COA or DLD, we draw diagram everywhere. Okay, the reason for that is diagrams are easier to avoid silly mistakes, to be able to conceptually connect the concepts and be able to solve the questions easily, right? So please draw diagrams and make a list of all the concepts or all the terms that you think you will get confused and revise them as part of your revision. That's it. It's as simple as that, right? So cool. 1 second. Okay, yeah, here it is. I'm mixing a couple of videos. Okay. So I'll finish my learning along with practice tests by mid-December, Satyansh. That's also okay, but then here is a problem. You have only 45 days to revise. So that is perfectly okay if your learning and your practice problems in your first iteration was perfect. If you have learned the concepts perfectly, if you have made your short notes thoroughly, if you have practiced all the questions, even if you finish by early to mid-December, you have 45 days to 60 days. Those 45 days to 60 days, just go full throttle on it. Try to revise everything at least twice. It is possible. You can revise all the concepts once in 1 month. Even the first iteration. The second iteration, you can revise it in like 15 to 20 days. Third iteration, you can do it in 8 to 10 days. Right? So even that is okay. If you are on track, again, remember, don't give up now. The biggest reason why we see students failing at this point is because they think, bahut hai yaar abhi. There is too much in front of us and I'm giving up. The fear that's ahead of them is what makes them give up a lot. Please don't do that mistake. Continue your push. What is the worst thing that will happen? You will not get a good rank, but all the energy and effort you have put in this year will get you a good rank next year. This happened to me. So when I was a student in my BTech, very similar to this year, we could take the GATE exam in our third year also. I put a lot of effort in my third year, but I could not complete the whole syllabus. Okay, I left computer networks because I was still a third year student. I couldn't complete all the syllabus. I couldn't revise all of it. Okay, there were some subjects where I was really good at, like all the math subjects, data structures, algorithms, TOC, I was very good at it. System subjects, I was really not that good in it, to be honest with you. I didn't prepare them thoroughly. So come December, I said, okay, whatever I've prepared, I'll go give my best in these questions. I attempted my GATE exam first time in my third year. I got All India 176. Yeah, it was 176, right? But the next year, when I went to fourth year, I said, okay, I have prepared all of this last year. So what is there? I'll just revise whatever subjects I did not complete. First, let me complete them. And I revised thoroughly next year. And I got a terrific rank the next year. So don't worry about running out of time. What is the worst thing? Even if you're a final year student, even if you're a working professional, you give your best this year. For the next 5 months, don't worry about the results. Only worry about the effort that you're putting in. Okay. I mean, very similar to what you learn in religion or philosophy, right? That's what Mahabharata says, right? So give your 100% energy. Don't worry about the results. While it sounds philosophical, it will keep your head peaceful. Trust me. Give your full energies this year. If you get a rank, great. If you don't get a rank, all this will be useful next year. As simple as that. It will not go down the drain. You can always write the GATE exam next year, right? You will have more time. You will know where you're lacking. You can give almost 12 months of full energy next year. So don't worry about it. Don't give up now. That's the most important thing. You should only double down now, not give up. And don't worry about all the externalities, all the external factors. Don't worry. Give your best. That's all matters now, right? Cool. 1 second. So what is this? How do I practice for each and every topic right after preparing it? For example, I study arrays in C. Why do I get topic-wise questions? So Ayushi, the way our course, I mean, at least our course is organized is after you learn about seven, sometimes 5 hours of content, we have a practice test, which again, in the course videos, we solve a lot of problems. When we explain the concept, we solve a few previous year questions also, right? Now, after that, there is a practice test. That's what gives you practice. If you're not a course enrolled student, pick up the previous year questions. See all the questions on arrays. Answer them. Done. Very simple, right? I mean, just answer all the previous year questions for practice. If you're not a course enrolled student. If you're a course enrolled student, you have practice tests explicitly giving you the practice questions. Okay. So, Mayur, is it essential to refer to standard books for below 100? No. Please don't think that. Okay. My simple suggestion is this. If you know the concepts and if you can solve problems, don't spend, you're not doing a PhD here. Please understand that fact. If you have time, please go read the standard textbooks. This is not the time, is my point. For the next 5 to 5.5 months, your goal should be revision, revision, practice, practice. Simple. That's the mantra. And third thing also is keep your mind sane. Don't worry about externalities. Again, 3 things if I have to put it right. One is consistent effort, day in, day out. Preferably 2 to 3 hours in the morning, 2 to 3 hours in the evening. Consistent effort. No distraction, full effort, full energy, full effort for the next 5 months. Number 1. Number 2, revise, revise, revise as many times as you can. Third, practice, practice, practice. That's it. Only 3 things that matter. And of course, if you have time left, feel free to read the standard textbooks. We try to cover everything from the standard textbooks that is relevant to GATE in our course videos, practice tests, test series. Some of it is covered in PYQs by the GATE examination paper setters themselves. So don't worry about it. Okay. Himanshu has a good question. This is a very good question. So he says, I've completed 90% of the syllabus, but now when I look at the topics, I feel I've forgotten everything. That's human nature. That's why I say revise. No, happens to everyone. I'll tell you one thing. For example, look at this. When I was solving computer organization, right? See, I did, I think 3 live sessions. Our mentors set all the questions. They have done thorough analysis. They've set up the question papers. I try to solve them before I go live. So I would look at this and I say, hey, how do I solve this? I know the subjects. I've taught this subject also, but I've not revised it recently. So first thing I did was I said, okay, here is our detailed notes. I spent 2 days. I revised everything. Everything that's there in the notes, I revised it. 2 days I would sit, revise everything. Now I gain confidence. Okay, I know what the subject is. And then I start tackling the problems. It happens to everyone. It happens to us, as I was telling you, right? It happens to me. It happens to all of our mentors. It's very common. That's why you have to revise multiple times in GATE, right? Like I've taught whole COA last year and I've forgotten a good chunk of things. I have to revise. Otherwise I'll forget it. It's human nature, right? Why do I remember data structures, algorithms and machine learning? Because I do it every day. I do machine learning every day. It's something that I've been doing for the last decade. I've been applying data structures, algorithms all my life to real world problems. That's why I remember it. I'm not an IoT engineer, so I've not done COA. I've not applied COA day to day. I know the concepts. I've learned the concepts, but I don't use them every day. So I forget. So what do? I revise. 2 days, detailed notes, line by line, go through it. I highlight, I quickly revise once and I'm done. Everybody goes through that. Okay, so don't worry about it. Christopher has a question. How seriously should I take the subject practice test rank? I usually get good ranks there. What were the marks of toppers in subject practice tests? Again, Christopher, the rule of thumb is this. If you're getting a good rank, again, there are multiple things that can happen. Okay, you're getting a good rank because some of the students are not taking it. But as a rule of thumb, if you're getting about 70 plus marks, you are on a very good path. Just try to increase that 70 plus marks to 90 plus. Again, some of our practice tests are easy intentionally, so as not to bog down the students, not to discourage them. So if you are getting, because you said you're getting a very good rank, that's very, very good. So try to get 70 plus marks if you can, because you seem to be performing well. Try to get 70 plus and keep pushing that number. Again, even if you're getting 50% marks, you still have time. You have still 5 months to push that 50 number to 80 number. And it is very, very doable. Trust me. Okay. Cool. So Kaustab has a question. If I start now, can I get a good rank? I think I have answered this multiple times earlier in this video. Kaustab, please check it. Check this video from the start. You'll get it. Okay. Okay. So Anand has a question. While solving a problem, I go for one solution, but after some time I realize the approach is wrong and lot of time gets wasted. How to tackle this situation? Anand, please don't think it is time wasted. I'll tell you why. This process of getting stuck and getting yourself unstuck is a learning experience. Don't think of it as wasting time. This is improving your problem solving ability. It's also improving your deeper understanding of the concept. This is part of the learning journey, right? Nobody is perfect the first time unless you're a genius, which is very rare, right? Most of us commit these mistakes. Most of us learn from those mistakes and avoid those mistakes next time. It is better to make mistakes and spend time while practicing rather than in the actual exam. So this is perfectly all right. Don't worry about it, right? Learning concept through questions is good. Again, that's a tricky thing because if you don't know the concept, how do you even tackle the question? That's first problem. Second problem is, if you know the concept, but you're not able to solve the problem, and you learned that you have a gap in your understanding, that's a great learning. That's what matters, right? That is extremely helpful in the long run, okay? So Rohit says, revision takes too much time, what to do? Again, we have a video on that, right? How to revise and how to make short notes. Ask yourself this question. If you have a subject, right? Short notes, like typically like 200 pages, right? If you're spending 5 to 6 hours a day, right? Again, this is revision. Remember that the first revision will take more time because you might have studied this subject 3 months, 4 months back, right? So first revision will take more time. Second revision, you can cut it down. So for the first revision, as I told you, it is very common to see people spending 30 to 45 days just in the first revision. Okay, spending 5 to 6 hours every day. That's very, very common. Second revision, you can do it in like 15, 20 days. So more revisions, more recent it is in your memory, right? More easily you can remember these concepts. It is very common that some revision for some subjects take more time. Okay, this happens to everyone. Cool. So Priyam has a question. If I want to get a job, why go for MTech? Again, you don't have to go to MTech. If you have the skills, you can get a job right after your BTech itself. MTech people go because it opens new opportunities, both for learning, careers in top companies, and also for PhD. That's why you should go for an MTech, because it gives you three things. It gives you great education resources, professors and peers at top universities in India, number one. Number two, it opens doors for PhD in case you're interested in PhD. It opens doors to top product-based companies via placements at these top institutes. Simple as that. Okay. Okay, 1 second. Again, somebody has this question, which is that they have subscribed for multiple test series. Please take all the test series. Why not? Just go practice as much as you can, guys. Okay, of course, some test series will be good, some test series will be not so good. That's okay. Just go practice. More practice doesn't hurt. Okay, but make sure that you're writing notes. You're learning from your mistakes, all the mistakes that you have done. Right? 1 second. Shudeep says he was qualified without preparation. I'm waiting a lot of time. Again, we can give 100 excuses to do 100 things, guys. Let's be honest here, right? So if somebody has semester exams, somebody has placements. Again, what is there in your semester exams? A lot of subjects would be in GATE syllabus, a good chunk of them, if not all of them. If you have placements are testing your knowledge of aptitude, probably data structures, algorithms, programming. All of that is part of GATE syllabus. So try to balance these two. I understand it's not easy. I understand it's a tricky balance. But let's not put ourselves and give ourselves an excuse not to perform and prepare well for GATE. Give your full energy to GATE. That's what I would recommend, right? Cool. Again, same type of questions. People are saying placements are there, semester exams are there. Life always has something. If you're a working professional, you might have a product delivery that you have to launch, or you have to build a product for your client. That happens all the time with all of us. My suggestion is, don't let that slow you down. That's why I'm saying dedicate 2 to 3 hours in the morning, 2 to 3 hours in the evening for this. You have rest of the day, right? To get your office work done, to get your placements done. You have all the time. And if you're preparing for GATE, I mean, if you can solve GATE problems, you can solve most companies, if not, of course, not the top product-based companies, but most other companies, I think you can crack interviews if you have good knowledge of data structures, algorithms, programming, and aptitude, right? Cool. Yes, so Helen has a question, which is she's scoring 40 to 50 marks from the test series. How to improve? Helen, that's perfectly okay. Remember that we are not in January. If you're scoring 40 to 50 marks in January, that's a concern. We are still in August or late August. We still have 5 to 6 months. The first thing that you have to ask yourself, if you're not getting good marks, it could be because of multiple reasons. Let me list a few reasons. Number one, first of all, you don't understand the problem, which means you don't know the concept. Go back, learn the concept. First problem. Second thing is you understand the problem, but you're not able to figure out how to solve it. In such a case, there are multiple solutions that you can try. First, try to draw a diagram. Try to arrive at the solution from first principles or from basics, the way we have done in the course videos, right? Suppose if there is a combinatorics problem, right? If you have seen some of our course videos, how do I solve those problems? I try to solve them by saying, okay, how do I break this problem down into the basics and solve the basic problem? COA, right? I try to draw a diagram everywhere. Okay, that's a strategy that helps you improve your problem solving skills. Draw diagrams. Again, if it takes more time, let it take. Don't worry about time right now. Worry about precision at this point. If you're precise with practice, you'll not run out of time. Don't worry about that. Very few people run out of time in GATE. Okay, so don't worry about time itself. Worry about precision, right? So second problem that you might be committing is you're not able to solve the problem because you're not able to connect the dots and break the problem into smaller parts. So draw diagrams, all the facts given to you, write them on a piece of paper and then try to see how you can formulate the solution. That's the second thing. Third, people commit silly mistakes. Okay, they understand the problem, they know how to solve it, but they make silly mistakes. And GATE traps you into making silly mistakes is the 4 options that you have. The questions are sometimes tricky to make sure that you'll commit silly mistakes, right? So for that type of questions, make a note of the silly mistake that you're doing in your short notes. Okay, these are broadly the set of problems that you'll encounter. Again, even in the live sessions that we conducted, I have told students multiple times, please draw the diagram. The moment people start drawing diagrams or trying to break the problem down into the basic constructs, try to break the problem down. Again, a very, very common mistake. I think this is a mistake that we are taught in our school days. That given a problem, formula hai, formula plug karo. Please don't do that. Don't plug for some formula that you know into this. Please don't do that. Again, for some trivial questions in GATE, that might be okay. But try to think from the concept front. Like for example, I don't remember most formulae in computer science. I hardly remember anything. Okay, but I can arrive at it very quickly because I have the deep foundational understanding. That way, again, given any problem, I try to break it down into the basic concepts. This does not mean that you should not know the concept. You have to know, for example, in digital logic design, right? You have to know what a multiplexer is. You have to know what a decoder is. But you don't have to remember the formulae to solve a problem. That you can come from the first principles or the basics. Okay, that's a very, very common mistake that people commit. Okay, cool. Good. So how to fill gaps after practice test? Ask yourself this question. After every question, if you have not been able to answer, ask yourself these questions. Do I know the concept? If not, go revise. That's how you fill the gap. You know the concept, but you're not able to solve. Then take a pause and try to draw all the diagrams or watch the videos where we solved very similar problems. Then try to tackle the problem. Don't see the answer right away. See the relevant videos or the notes where we have solved the problem from first principles, either by drawing diagrams or trying to arrive at it from the basic equations. Try to replicate the same thing, right? So that's the second way to fill. Your gaps. The third way is you've done a silly mistake. Make a note of it in your notes and revise it next time. Try to avoid that silly mistake the next time. This is how you fill your gaps. Okay. So Sachin says, I am only studying from applied course material, videos, test series. Is it mandatory to refer to standard books? Don't worry about it. We have taken most of the important concepts from standard textbooks for GATE. Focus on completing the course videos, completing the practice tests, completing all the series, all the test series, complete the 5,800 odd problems that we have. Okay, that would be one of the best preparations for your GATE. If you have time left, prepare from standard textbooks, but don't worry too much about it, because we have tried to take it from standard textbooks and put it in our course videos or assignments or tests. We have tried to absorb all of what is relevant to GATE from the standard textbooks. Okay, cool. Is 80 plus full length test enough? More than sufficient, man. More than sufficient. Don't worry about it. You're taking 80 tests, more than sufficient. Okay, like, don't worry about it. Okay, cool. If you take GATE in 2 subjects, then do we need to score above 70 in both? I didn't understand this question. So you're taking GATE exam in computer science and another subject GATE exam, because GATE allows you to take it from 2 departments, right? I think the ranks for CSC department and another department will be considered separately. They'll not be merged or anything, right? Where should I practice non-GATE questions for building concept? Amar, I think this session is about GATE preparation, so I will skip that. But if you want standard, if you want to practice more, standard textbook exercise problems. But that could take you years. Take CLRS, right? Take your Introduction to Algorithms by Corman, Leisers and Rivest-Stein, CLRS textbook. Try to solve the exercise problems. It will take you easily 1 year just to finish that book. It's not easy, right? So it's pretty involved. So you could spend 1 year solving that, or you could be focused in your preparation, crack GATE, and then you have ample time to prepare and solve textbooks. Okay. Cool. Oh, sorry, it's already 8:01. Again, thank you, folks. Thank you for joining this session. Some of our mentors have answered some of the questions. I have tried to answer some of the questions, but please understand that since this is a public session, right, we can't control the flow of questions, right? So we try to answer as many questions as we can, as varied as we can. Anything that we could not answer, please go to our website, gate.appliedcourse.com, shoot an email or send us an email with your questions. We'll try to answer as many as possible, right? Most importantly, the key takeaway, if you have 30 seconds, the key takeaway from this session is this. We have 5 months. Let's double down, focus on completing the subjects, focus on revision. Don't give up now, double down. Don't give up. Please don't give up, double down now. Give your best, forget the rest. Simple logic. Try to solve as many problems as you can, revise as many times as you can, complete as many subjects as you can. Very simple formula. This is not rocket science. This is common sense. And it's only human. Don't worry about making mistakes. Don't worry about setbacks. We all have gone through that path. This is not new. Okay, just give your best. All the very best. And we'll continue to do some of these general live sessions through the rest of the year till GATE. Again, the tone and the suggestions will change as we progress, because we are coming closer to the exam, right? So we'll continue to do more sessions. Again, from this, what we understood is doing some of these public Q&A sessions will be helpful for everyone preparing for GATE. So we will try to do more of these in the coming months before the GATE exam. And all the very best. Keep your cool. I think this is my biggest lesson from Mahabharata, which is give your best, forget the rest. Very simple lesson. It's a great life lesson. While I'm an atheist, I still respect a lot of philosophy and religion. So that's a simple takeaway. Give your best. Try to put in 5 to 6 hours every day. Okay, cool. All the very best. See you again. Bye-bye.